Deathwatch Vanguard veterans are elite melee specialists handpicked from the finest firstborn space marines to serve the Deathwatch. Armed with devastating close combat weapons, they strike deep into enemy lines, cutting down Xenos monstrosities with brutal precision. Their jump packs grant them incredible mobility, allowing them to ambush foes from above, executing high-risk, high-impact assaults with deadly efficiency. Hello my friends, my name is Max, and today we're going to build one of Deathwatch Vanguard veterans. I got this box second-hand, it looks very old, we have already built this pal that looked nothing like this pal, and today we're going to build this pal that looks nothing like this pal. The only thing that will be preserved is the general position of the torso. We're gonna use almost everything else different. And the idea is to build a Raven Guard ultra-violence melee specialist. Let's see what we can achieve with that. We start with these funny looking instructions. And the base for our mini is gonna be somewhat like this one or this one. It does not really matter because we're gonna replace so many things. It will be looking nothing like the end result, this, or to be more accurate, this one. So the torso is gonna be this one based on the legs. We will use these instruction set for general kind of idea because it's on one page and it is just a bit more convenient to show it on the picture. From this kit, we're gonna use legs and torso, and of course jump pack and a beaky head. Everything else will be different. This set is highly customizable because all the bits here are interchangeable. Normally the way you build it is you assemble all sorts of these things, like you assemble for torsos, you assemble for jump packs, and then all these bits are interchangeable, including the heads, including these ones, and these storm weapons, and the bolters, and whatnot. So you can mix and match here, and this is ideal for our kitbashing project. This mini is gonna look somewhat similar, but the position is gonna be more like this. He is gonna be looking on his right, he is gonna be half rotating to his right. That is the general idea here. Anyways, let's start with the torso. We're gonna need to build the torso from these bits. Out of these 4 chest plates, I think this one looks the most Raven Guardy. I don't know why. And I'm gonna use this one. This is bit number 10. Bits 11 and 10 are cleaned up. They should be assembled like this. And I'm going to glue them. And this is our torso so far. Now we need legs. We technically need legs number 3 from this kit. They look very similar, however, the one that we are using is gonna be this one. Don't get mistaken by this rock over here. It is added to the base after the mini was assembled, so technically there is no rock in this kit. These are our legs. Let's see how they should be combined with the torso. He is supposed to be looking somewhat like this. He is half rotating to his right. The reference is gonna be this picture over here, so I believe it should be something along these lines. I'm actually not entirely sure which angle this is gonna be, and that is why I will probably try to add arms to the torso before I put the torso on the legs. Instead of the left arm, number 16, with a bolt pistol over here, or whatever is supposed to be used here, we're gonna use bit number 50 from Deathwatch Veterans box. This hand looks really cool, and I really like the position of it, so let's take it. This is my left hand, and it should be attached over here, somewhat like this. Actually, now I realize that I probably should attach the torso to the legs in order to see how it should be looking like in the end. I think I'm gonna attach this in this kind of position. This is gonna be my position. I will give it a little bit of rest. Since we found this hand, and we are waiting for the torso to glue itself together, we're gonna go for another hand now. For another hand, I would really love to use another power sword like this one. However, I couldn't find any power sword in my possession that was suitable for a right arm. This is a left arm, and we need another one in the right arm. This kit has a lot of right arm chain swords, and that is what we're gonna build. We're gonna take one of these chain swords. I personally like the chain sword 26. We couldn't use the power sword because the kit that I got was missing it. The guy who was using it before took it. That is the options that we have. And I think I'm gonna go with bit 26. This is my bit 26. It looks incredibly cool. And now we need a hand that is gonna be holding it. In our case, we are supposed to use either a hand 21 or a similar one, because this kit was actually using a hand with a power fist, so we could not rely on this image. This image is technically more correct. But instead of using this 21 that looks like this, we're gonna use something more interesting. Namely, hand 66 from the Deathwatch Veterans kit. This one. Because it has a little bit of more flavor here. It has some computer and whatnot. However, now as you can see, we have a problem, because this hand is supposed to have a lock over here, and our hand is a previous generation of hands, so to speak. So it should really be like this. How do we fix it? We just cut this thing off. Like this. And then we attach the chain sword like this. Go into glue it. And that is our hands with the chain sword so far. Let's give it some rest. Now let's take a look how this hands, the left one, is supposed to be assembled. In my book, it should be something along these lines. It should be a very aggressive stance over here. And I will need to cut a little bit of hand over here. Okay, let's try now. Yeah, it should be along these lines, like this. I think this is gonna be my position. I'm going to give it some rest. Before we attach the second hand, let's find a Deathwatch shoulder pad. This is our shoulder pads, the Deathwatch shoulder pads. It should be sitting over here, like this. However, I'm still waiting for this arm to fix itself. That is why I will skip for a while. And now I suggest we add a beaky helmet. Beaky helmet is in this Deathwatch Vanguard Veterans kit. This is our really cool looking beaky helmet with some laurels over here. Should be watching in this direction, somewhere here. I think I'm gonna glue it directly now. This is how this is gonna look like. Now let's see how the left arm is supposed to be assembled. It is supposed to be somewhat along these lines. Let's pretend he is about to hit somebody with the chain sword. And that is the position of the arm with the chain sword, looking very, very nice. Now let's drop the shoulder pad on this shoulder. And this is how it looks so far. Now let's find a Raven Guard shoulder pad for his right shoulder. Of course, this can be found in the Deathwatch Veterans kits. This is the one we are looking for. Let's see how it should be sitting on his shoulder. Should be along these lines. Go into glue it. This is the position of the shoulder pad, looking nice. And now we are missing the jump pack. The jump packs are assembled from these bits. So let's see which one we wanna have. I think I'm gonna go with bit 77. Looks Raven Guardish enough for me. I have cleaned up the jump pack bits. They should be assembled together along these lines. And this is our cool looking jump pack. Very, very cool. Let's see how it should be sitting on his back. Should be along these lines. Very, very cool. This bit might require partial assembly. You might want to paint the mini separately and the jump pack separately. I myself don't care that much. I'm just gonna glue it. And now we need to drop the spell on the base. We have a 32mm base here. I had to give our pal a little bit of rest, because this bit is really flimsy, and it takes a while for the glue to catch. And I think we are still missing something here. So even though he looks incredibly cool, we could use a bolt pistol. And I found one in Primaris Intercessors. This is a larger bolt pistol that I intend to place over here like this. So he has at least some sort of a handgun. And let's do just that. And this is our lads with the bolt pistol. Looking very, very nice. Looking at this mini, I think we're still missing some seals of purity. So let's try to find them in Primaris Space Marine sprue. This is my purity seal from Primaris Space Marines sprue. I'm mildly surprised there are no purity seals in this kit by default. I think this purity seal could be somewhere here on his jump pack. This is the most complex technical equipment. And that is our purity seal over here. And that is our miniature, my friends. It took me roughly 45 minutes to assemble it. It has bits from at least 3 different kits, not counting the sprue with the Deathwatch upgrades, like this shoulder pad. It looks incredibly cool. I think we went far from this look to this kind of look. You can see that there is very, very little in common between these pals. Nevertheless, our mini looks fairly cool. Has all sorts of cool things here. A power sword over here, a chain sword, bolt pistol, some purity seal, jump pack, beaky heads, and of course the Raven Guard shoulder pad over here. Let's see how this mini sits next to some other miniatures. We start, of course, with another kitbashed mini from this kit. This is a Sergeant, Deathwatch Vanguard Veteran Sergeants that we built previously. Also looks incredibly cool. I really like how dynamic are the poses. They are amazing. Really, really nice looking together. This is how this mini compares to a Primaris Deathwatch miniature. This is a Primaris Intercessor with a Deathwatch shoulder pad. Looks really, really cool. And you can see that thanks to the jump pack, it does not look much smaller. It is actually roughly of the same size. This is really nice. One can use these Firstborn Space Marines easily with Primaris Space Marines. And they're not gonna look super far from each other size-wise. And of course, if we compare this mini to a Deathwatch Veteran, we're gonna see that this mini is a bit taller, thanks to the tactical rock and the jump pack. But other than that, these minis look like they belong to the same army. Firstborn Space Marines with really cool stuff here and there. I think these lads are gonna work amazing together on the battlefields. Couple of words before we wrap up. I really like the older kits with Firstborn Space Marines, and I really like the Deathwatch kits because there are a lot of spare parts. You can use a bunch of really cool bits to kitbash things here and there. And this makes it so interesting to assemble these miniatures. You can do weird things and the result is gonna look great. I think this one ended up quite nicely. And that's a wrap for today, my friends. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It will help you to catch more content like this and support me in growing this channel. Share your thoughts on this mini in the comments below. Make sure to check the video that you see now on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.